Christian Engstrom is not your average MEP. He's a computer scientist, a businessman, and deputy chair of the Swedish Pirate Party. So as you can imagine, he's a staunch opponent to the Acta dossier that's currently being debated in the European Parliament.
For me, Acta is the most important dossier going on right now. If we lose Acta, it means that we will tie the hands of both the European Parliament and national parliaments. It will become very, very difficult to do any sensible reform when it comes to copyright and things like that. But on the other hand, if we win Acta, this could become the turning point, because so far for the last 10 or 15 years we've been moving in the wrong direction. More enforcement, more punishment, trying to restrict freedom on the internet. It simply isn't working. If we manage to stop Acta, which is by no means certain yet, there are some people are saying, oh, we won Acta. No, we haven't. It's still very, very dangerous. So we really must focus on that. But if we do win, this could become the historical turning point when many mainstream politicians start saying, okay, so we shouldn't do Acta, what should we do instead?
Thousands of internet users agree with Engstrom. Over 2 million people signed a petition earlier this year asking MEPs to reject the treaty that intends to standardise copyright protection measures, but that they believe will threaten free and open internet.
My time on the internet, for example YouTube, and SOBA would like to shut down everything that has, for example, video games in it. It's really bad because, for example, one of my friends makes video games on YouTube, and he won't be able to make them if SOBA gets passed.
I think ACTA is not going to pass because I've seen a lot of sentiment from people, members of the EU Parliament who have really spoken out against it. I think that they have watched the reaction of the public in the US against SOPA and PIPA after our big protest day and so forth. And I think people are coming around to the idea that, gee, this is something that has been negotiated without any input from not only the tech industry, but any input really from the internet community. And it's also a mishmash, I mean, one of the things about ACTA is it covers, much as SOPA and PIPA did, but it covers, counterfeit goods, which is a completely different question from internet piracy. It's just, they're different. I mean, there's some kind of analogy between the two, but they're very different. And the law that we need to deal with one will be different from the law that we need to deal with the other. And I think beginning to unbundle some of these issues is really important. And I hope, that the Parliament's heard the people complaining about this.
He's right. I mean, one of the problems is that Acta tries to cover everything under the sun, which is ridiculous. I mean, falsified medicines and downloading of pop songs are two very different things. You can't really put them in the same box and expect good results. So I mean, that makes sense. And there were some aspects of Acta, at least originally, that made sense. I mean, product counterfeiting is about cheating consumers. Even the Pirate Party is opposed to that. That's bad. So I mean, to the extent that we need better rules to find counterfeit goods, I mean, that's something that we're more than willing to discuss. Another, I would say, completely different problem is for falsified medicines. That has nothing to do with intellectual property. I mean, falsified medicines can be dangerous, but I mean, it's just as dangerous with toxic aspirin, where the patent expired 50 years ago, as toxic some other drug that happens to be under patents. There is another convention drafted by the Council of Europe called the Medicrime Convention that really focuses on this problem only. That's one good suggestion to pick up some of the few parts of Acta that would have actually meant something good. But I mean, the bulk of Acta, it's about trying to hunt file sharers, trying to punish the young generation for understanding the new times. And I mean, that's not what we should do or ought to do. Well, I mean, obviously the Commissioner de Gucht, who's invested a lot of prestige in this, won't be happy. But this really isn't about making Mr. de Gucht happy. This is about setting a sensible course for Europe in the 21st century.
what are the prospects for renegotiating the Acta?
None. The negotiations are over. Anybody who says that we can fix Acta by renegotiating, by having the Commission write this paper or that paper, are either lying or have been misled by somebody, because that is not true. The negotiations are over, the text is there, the only thing we can do is say yes or no. And it's very important that we do say no.